Let's start off where we are.
Sir,
Yeah, tell me.
sir, module 5, don't put part wise, no, sir. You can give complete notes.
Yeah, that also I will do in the end. With the lecture, I'm giving part by part also, and
Okay, sir.
towards the end, I will give you the entire notes. That I have done that for module 1, 2, and 4 also. Uh, because
Okay,
uh,
sir.
because some students like to read part wise, and some prefer the entire notes. So it will cater to needs of all the students.
Okay, sir.
So once we finish module 5, then I'll give you the entire set of notes. Okay, so we are trying to find the value of x here. So we have already found the determinant of A. Now to find x, if you see in the original matrix A, 1, 2 and 1 on the left hand side are the coefficients of all the x variables in the three equations. So to find x, we get rid of 1, 2 and 1 and we replace 1, 2, 1 with the coefficients on the RHS of the three equations, which is 1, 3 and 2. So I place 1, 3 and 2 here. The other two parts, that is 2, 3, 0, which are the coefficients of y, and 4, -1 and -3, which are the coefficients of z in the three equations, are kept as it is. Right? So I only replace those coefficients which belong to x. So the leftmost or the first column which belongs to all the x will be replaced by all the coefficients which are on the right hand side of all the three equations. So you have x equal to 1 by determinant A and the new matrix. Now you find the determinant of this matrix. So I found the determinant of that matrix, and that is 19 minus 19. And you multiply this with minus 1 by 11, which is the determinant of A. So the answer here is 19 by 11. Now next, when you want to find the value of y, you keep the first column as it is, because the first column is the coefficients of all the x variables. So we keep 1 to 1 as it is. We keep the third column as it is, because these are the three coefficients of all the z variables in the three equations. So 4 minus 1 minus 3 remains as it is. We only replace the second column, because the second column comprises of the coefficients of the y variables in the three equations. So the y variables in the three equations is 2, 3 and 0. So we replace that with the variables which are on the RHS of the three equations. So 2, 3, 0 in matrix A is replaced with 1, 3 and 2. Right? So now you find the determinant of this new matrix and multiply this with 1 by determinant of A. So you'll get an answer here, and your answer will turn out to be minus 2 by 11. So the third process is very, very simple. You keep column 1 and 2 as it is, that is x and y as it is, and you replace the third column, which is belonging to z, and replace that with all the coefficients which are there on the RHS of the three equations. So that has been replaced with 1, 3 and okay? And then you find the determinant and multiply it with minus 1 by 11, which is the determinant of y. Once you do that, you'll get the value of z, which is minus 1 by 11. The values of x, y, and z are 19 by 11, minus 2 by 11, and minus 1 by 11. So I've solved another problem here, which is an even simpler problem because it is having only two equations. Okay. So you first find that you first write the equations in the form of a determinant. So you have uh, you have one, two, 1 and minus 1, and then you have some matrix D which is minus 1 and minus 5. You find the determinant of A, which is minus 3. So to find x, you replace 1 and 2, the first column, with all the factors which are there on the RHS, which is minus 1 and minus 5. Keep 1 and minus 1, the second column as it is. Find the value of x. Similarly for y, keep the first column as it is, replace the second column with minus 1 and minus 5. You will get the answer. So you get your x and y values. Okay. So what I've done in this PPT is I've put some examples for you. So how to find the cofactors C12, C24, C32, and the answers are also given. And this uses the property of if you want to find Cij, then that is nothing but minus 1 raised to I plus j into the determinant of ij. So that is what has been done here, and that process has been shown to you. You can go through it. Then I have also put another example to find the cofactor. Okay, and I've shown you how we can expand it across the first row, the third row, and the second column. But usually we will use only the first row. So pay attention to only A. And then I have put the sign here, this matrix comprising of signs. It will help you in remembering if you want to remember. If you don't want to remember, just use the property that we have minus 1 raised to I plus j into Cij. If you do that, you don't have to remember this sign matrix. But for those students who want to just remember, you can also use this matrix. So the signs will alternate in the row, and the signs will also alternate in the columns. So you have plus minus on the row, plus minus on the columns. Another problem which I've shown, and this is a row reduced reduction determinant problem, which I've put here with the answer and how to find the determinant. So we have started with one of the matrices A here, and then how to reduce it into an upper triangular matrix, which is the last form, and then how do you find the determinant. So that's again something which I have shown here. Then a question on Cramer's rule, which we have just completed, and how to find the value of x1, x2, and x3. So these are some additional problems which I have put for you. So you can just go through that. So in the first part of module 5, video has only mentioned introduction to determinants, Cramer's rule, and cofactors. So these are the only kind of problems which you can expect in your exam. Even in the model question paper, they have asked only similar kind of problems. So that we'll solve once we finish module 5. Uh, I think you've got the new timetable. So next week onwards, we'll be having 3 classes. So in the next week, we'll move to the second part of module 5, which will deal with eigenvalues and eigenvectors, and diagonalizing the matrix, and a very important process of singular value decomposition, SVD. So these are the only things mentioned in module 5. And probably 1 or 2 weeks, we'll be able to finish module 5. So in the PPT, I've tried to put as many problems as possible. So please go through it, and I've also put the process for you to understand. I'll be sharing an entire document of solved numericals with you very soon in module 5, like I've done in module 4. We will be having more problems to look at and more problems to solve. So any questions that you have?
No, sir.
So I'm taking 1 or 2 topics in every day, because this online learning may be a little cumbersome for all of you. But you have enough time to go through this. These processes are very simple, so you can go through it. From next week onwards, we will not have much time to recap most of the things. So the time is very less. Okay, so try to cover up most parts of what we have done already. Okay. So we'll stop here for today, and I'll be putting all this recording and PPT and the notes on your Google Classroom. Any other questions anyone has? Okay, if there are no questions, then we can exit the class. Thanks.